right, everybody, welcome back. I am so pumped for today's deep dive.
Yeah, this will be interesting.
We're going to be talking about LegalShield,
Okay.
and we're going to be looking at some excerpts from a website by Will Upshaw.
Interesting guy.
Yeah, and he does like business and real estate stuff, and so he uses LegalShield and recommends LegalShield.
Right.
And the whole idea is like,
Yeah.
LegalShield wants to be like the Uber or the Netflix of legal services. So how do they do that? I don't know.
Well, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
LegalShield is looking at the huge problem that most people have with the legal system.
Right.
Like, it's so expensive.
Yeah.
And it's so complex.
It's scary.
It is. It can be very intimidating.
Like, I don't even know where to start if I had a legal problem.
Yeah, and that's what LegalShield is trying to solve.
Oh, okay.
Their mission is to make legal services accessible and affordable for everyone.
Okay.
They call it democratizing access to legal services. It's like
you could just...
so like anyone can afford it and anyone can use it. Yeah, so it's almost like
Is it like
ordering takeout or like watching Netflix.
can I just call a lawyer whenever I want?
You can, well, sort of.
Sort of.
It works through this membership model.
Okay.
You pay a monthly fee, and for that, you have access to a dedicated law firm in your area.
Yeah.
And you can call them up for legal advice whenever you need it.
So I don't have to worry about those crazy hourly rates lawyers usually charge.
Exactly.
That's the whole idea.
And they can help with like anything.
Whoa.
Like what kinds of things could I use them for?
The website gives some pretty good examples.
Okay.
Like, imagine you bought a new appliance and it breaks down right away, right?
Yeah.
And the warranty should cover it, but you're having trouble getting it honored.
Ugh, I hate it when that happens.
You can call your LegalShield provider firm, and they can advise you on your rights.
Okay.
They can even help you draft letters to the company or whoever you're dealing with.
So it's not just advice. They'll actually help me take action. Yes. They'll advocate for you. It's like having a legal expert in your corner.
That's awesome. I was reading on the website that they can even help with things like real estate questions.
Yeah, they do.
Like if you're buying or selling a house or renting,
Uh-huh.
or even just dealing with a landlord.
Right. And think about speeding tickets.
Oh, yeah?
Like instead of just paying it, you could call up your law firm and see if there's anything you can do.
Oh, that's a good point.
And the website even mentioned estate planning.
Estate planning.
Yeah, like wills and trusts and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, so they really cover a wide range of everyday legal issues.
Yeah, it sounds like it would be super useful for things that you might not normally hire a lawyer for, you know? Like those smaller issues that can still be a real pain.
Right, exactly.
I mean, I've definitely just ignored some things in the past because I'm like, yeah, I don't want to deal with a lawyer.
I get it. It can be overwhelming.
So this sounds like it would really simplify things for a lot of people.
Yeah, and I think that's the goal.
So back to the Uber and Netflix thing.
Right.
Like, how accurate is that?
Well, it's a good comparison in a way.
How so?
Well, think about it. Both Uber and Netflix use technology to make things easier and cheaper.
Okay, yeah.
Like Uber made it easier to get a ride, and Netflix made it cheaper to watch movies and TV shows.
True. And LegalShield's doing the same thing for legal services.
Exactly.
Using technology to cut costs and connect you directly with lawyers. So it's kind of like having a lawyer on retainer, but for much less money.
Exactly.
Okay, but how is this different from like traditional legal insurance?
Good question.
Because I know some people have that.
Right. Well, traditional legal insurance usually focuses on covering the costs of like lawsuits and going to court.
Okay.
So it's more for like specific events.
Gotcha.
Whereas LegalShield is more about having access to legal advice for everyday situations.
So it's more about prevention and advice.
Right. Although LegalShield does offer a 25% discount on their standard hourly rates for issues that aren't fully covered by the membership. So like if you need to go to court for something that's not included in the plan, you can still get help from your provider firm, but you'll get a discount.
So it's kind of like a hybrid approach then.
I think that's a good way to put it.
Cool. Well, I have to say, this LegalShield thing sounds pretty amazing. I'm definitely intrigued.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
And of course, all this information is coming from Will Upshaw's website. He's a business and real estate guy, so it makes sense that he'd be into LegalShield.
Right. And I think this brings us to a big question for our listeners.
What's that?
Could LegalShield really change the game when it comes to accessing legal services?
Yeah.
I mean, think about all the people who can't afford a traditional lawyer.
Right.
LegalShield could potentially be a huge help to them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But are there downsides?
Like what?
Well, we didn't really go into those here.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's worth doing your own research.
Definitely. Figure out if it aligns with your needs and your values.
Exactly.
And let us know what you think.
We'd love to hear from you.
Thanks for joining us for this Legal Shield deep dive.
Until next time.
See ya.